Welcome to Prajna Spark's Full Moon Sit, the first of 2026. I am Lama Yeshe children. I invite you today to a meditation practice of immersive presence in our own consciousness. This is an experiential meditation that combines features of shamatha, or tranquility practice, with vipashyana, or insight practice. Tranquility and insight, shamatha and vipashyana in unity, are ways of expressing mind's inherent poise, its dynamic engagement with all that is. Begin by simply arriving in the space and time in the body that you are inhabiting in this moment, allowing yourself to have ease in whatever posture feels comfortable for you, depending on how long you would like to sit. Taking our seat and coming into the present, we settle and open up our mind with shamatha, or tranquility practice. Shamatha hones single-pointed focus, which is nevertheless relaxed yet alert. We can do this by simply focusing on the flow of the breath in and out, allowing the breath and our flow with it to stabilize mind so that it is neither falling into dullness nor is it running around chasing after all the movements of thoughts, all those storylines that our emotions cook up and serve up to mind. Instead, we simply use the breath as a focal point and let it reveal to us when we are distracted, either outwardly, which is called agitation or excitement, or inwardly, drowsiness or torpor. As a gauge of our balance, when we topple in either direction, simply bring ourselves back home to attention that is balanced and flowing with the inhalation and exhalation. Let's try that without anything more for a minute or so. Now, let's be a little more incisive in our tranquility practice, taking an active interest in the mind qualities present in the movements of meditation. First is attention. Choose any meditation focus that feels familiar and interesting to you, something conducive to nourishing attention. Attention is simply the energy that directs mind to a specific object. Something familiar brings ease and steadiness. Something interesting nourishes that energy of orienting the mind. I will use the breath as the example of a meditation focus. Now, rest your attention on the breath and set it as the gauge of that attention. Simply a gauge of what the attention is doing. Allow the attention to balance in the sweet spot between steadiness and alertness for just one in-breath. Good. Now, one out-breath. Now, one inhalation and one exhalation. That's very doable, isn't it? It also helps us to identify other qualities of mind that are operative in meditation. What I'm inviting you to do is to experiment to see if it helps. You can drop it if it doesn't. The next quality of mind that we'll look at is recollection. It's what keeps us from forgetting the focus. Throughout the entire inhalation and exhalation, recollection is the quality of mind that sustains remembering that that's what we're doing. Now, sense the energetic quality of attention and recollection acting in unison to sustain steady alertness for the space of another inhale and exhale. Refining our curiosity about the mind qualities active in meditation even further, consider, how do we know that recollection is working? How do we know that we forgot? That recollection stopped somewhere? This is another dimension of mind called vigilance, the quality that surveys the meditative field, notes when recollection is active and when it has fallen away. Distraction and forgetting are not something to condemn. Please don't chastise yourself. There's knowledge there. Rejoice that you noticed the forgetting. This is how we identify and empower vigilance. Every time you notice distraction, it is vigilance stepping into the field. Now let's sense the energetic quality of attention, recollection, and vigilance for the space of one inhale and exhale. relax as we meet one last mind quality, heedfulness. Heedfulness is the kinetic energy of mind. It shepherds the attention back to the breath or other meditation focus. Once vigilance has noticed that recollection faded and forgetting dawned. This trio, recollection, vigilance, and heedfulness, are the prime movers of shamatha practice. Nourishing them, noticing when they operate, when they do not, can enhance and fuel the momentum of our shamatha practice. So now let's try training the mind in this way to measure the relative presence of recollection, vigilance, and heedfulness for the space of one inhale and exhale. And another. Time. Now, remaining in touch as much as you can with the stillness and lucidity you've settled into in your tranquility meditation just now. Rest with a sense of tenderness and kind-heartedness towards yourself. We'll use the imagery of the ocean to imagine that we're floating on the surface of the sea. This is a special sea that is always just as buoyant as we like, just as enveloping as we like, and somehow allows us to breathe above or below the water. Floating on the surface, the waves are very soft and gentle. The sun is warm. The water is warm. Maybe we hear others talking and playing on the shore at a distance or swimming nearby. We allow ourselves to realize, I can actually breathe beneath the water. And allow ourselves to continue floating even as we go deeper below the surface of the water. Do this in whatever way is comfortable for you. Don't fuss with the details. Just nakedly drop deeper. Sounds get farther away. We can see the light of the sun penetrating the water above us. Still floating, our body horizontal, but gently, softly, in a way that is not at all threatening. Supported, embraced, safe. Start noticing not only the surface experiences, fish, the plant life, so many things that were beneath us, swirling around and above the body as we continue to softly flutter downwards. Just allow yourself to observe calmly, like a tourist among the coral reefs. You don't need to follow the laws of physics. Just observe. Just sometime you come to rest in a cushy space. And in this magical ocean, the deeper we go, it's actually lighter and more easy than on the surface. Everything around us feels immediate, bright, full, and peaceful. Just rest and drink that in for a time. Allow yourself to notice all the things happening up on the surface, far away. They're there, but not really pulling at our attention. The pull of the tides and the forces creating waves on the surface. Just rest and watch. Awareness too, sink backwards, letting go of the objects, sinking deep into the ocean of consciousness. Watching as all the thoughts on the surface, the breath itself, any meditation focus floats on the surface. Continue to go deeper. As we rest with ease and awareness, releasing the breath or any other focus, we are not entangled by thoughts on the surface of consciousness. We are still aware of that content, thoughts, ideas, images flitting by. But we do not get enmeshed. The awareness to be like the ballast that keeps you steady. Here in the depths of consciousness, awareness remains steady without ignoring or pretending that thoughts, ideas, images, what have you, aren't there. If you like, you can even bring awareness to the thoughts themselves. This is not the same as having a conversation with them. From the depth and ballast of our awareness, we can recognize the movement of thoughts, like the movement of waves at the surface of the sea, way above us. Noticing without engaging, without trying to shift them or make them disappear. Pretend they're not happening. The more we release them, the more we can watch as thoughts vanish on their own. We can rest in the openness they leave behind. Should any thoughts reoccur, observe them from that depth of awareness. If you find that they're sticky, allow the mind to fall back into the depth of awareness. Awareness is deep, solid, and strong, and also lucid and clear. Stay with it for the next bit of time. Start allowing yourself to return to the surface. To slowly return to the surface, the sounds, the smells, the images, the tastes, the textures. As you're ready, allow your body to take the lead and bring yourself back to this place, to this time, to this embodiment that you are now. Give yourself space to feel the echo of the practice, and then join me in sharing the merit, the positive energy, and the onward leading momentum with all beings, that it may become a cause for their complete, perfect enlightenment in Buddhahood. Attained Buddhahood through this merit, may we defeat the enemy wrongdoing and liberate all beings from this ocean of suffering with its waves of birth, aging, illness, and death.